iRacing is one of the most competitive sim racing titles on the market, and that's why we want to help you improve your skills. And improving your skills starts with practice, so that's what we'll be covering today. We'll discuss how we can improve on new tracks and in new cars, how we can analyze our driving with the Track Titan platform, how we can find the limits of the car, and how we can make practice a little bit more fun. When you're practicing a new car or track, the first thing we should focus on is getting comfortable with them. When you're driving that brand new car you just bought, don't try to hot lap every circuit immediately. Learn to drive it comfortably first. What I mean by this is that you should be able to drive it around a track without having to worry about driving it off the road. Figure out how it reacts to your pedal inputs. Does it lean towards over or understeer? Do you have to be gentle on the brakes? Things like that. Get to know your car before you try to push it to the limit. Getting comfortable with a track is a lot simpler in my opinion, as you just need to establish a mental map of the place. You've got to know what the track looks like around each corner so you can plan ahead. Learn the braking points, the tricky corners and the overtaking spots. You can do this by taking it slow at first. Cruise around it for a while until you know what comes after every corner. Once you've done this, you can look to track guides to help you find braking markers and more, but be sure to also practice these yourself and you'll do great. Now if you want to get faster on a track and it's supported on Track Titan, you can easily record and analyze your data to find out exactly where you can improve. Let's take a look at this MX5 lap on Virginia International Raceway. When we take a look at our slowest segment, we see that we're more than a second off the reference lap. When we jump deeper into the segment analysis, we can see our data represented in orange and the reference lap in blue. The driving tips in the top right already state that we're losing a lot of time at the start of this segment, so let's focus on that first. We can immediately see that we're braking too late, which means we also need to brake harder for longer to make the corner, which slows us down significantly. Now later on in the chicane we actually see that we're on the throttle too early and we have to slow down to keep it on track, which is our second biggest mistake in this segment. Now with this analysis under my belt, I know exactly where I can improve the next time I'm practicing on VIR. And you can analyze your own iRacing data for free if you sign up on Track Titan using code iRacing. But be sure to check out our supported track list first so you don't drive on any tracks we don't support yet. Finding the limit means you'll need to practice some more unconventional stuff. The first thing which will help you greatly in racing situations is testing out where the braking limits are for the corners out on track. So where you can brake the latest and still make the corner. You should test this for both the inside and outside lines because this will come in very handy when you're in a tense battle with your opponents. Knowing where you can brake the absolute latest when you're on the inside of a corner will render your opponent's overtaking moves virtually useless. The next thing you might want to practice is avoiding crashes. And what I mean by this is that you drive around the track like you're hot lapping and you imagine a car crash right in front of you. Now you have to make a sudden move. By practicing this, you'll get used to handling your car in unforeseen conditions. It will prepare you for the inevitable car crash you're gonna have to avoid. Another fun thing to practice is catching slides or correcting mistakes. Throw your car around like a caveman and try to catch it when it's sliding. Step on the throttle way too aggressively in corners where you know you shouldn't, and try to keep it on track as best as possible. These exercises will prepare you for crazy race situations you can't even dream of yet. And I shouldn't have to say this, but please practice this in a practice session and not during the race itself. Lapping around a track all by yourself can quickly become very stale. But there are quite a few things that can help you to spice things up. Firstly, when you're still learning the layout of a track, put on some music or a podcast and just put in your time. You're not pushing it yet, so you don't need to be able to identify the exact rev count by the sound of your engine. Just cruise around with some entertainment in your ear. It's practically the same as having your car radio on. Secondly, when you're trying to push for the best lap times, trying to perfect your laps, challenge yourself to a hot lapping session. Try to beat your own best time, shake things up, try out some crazy tactics. Find out what works and what doesn't on the Track Titan platform. Maybe drifting through some corners will increase your overall speed. It probably won't, but you will learn how to catch those slides, which is a perfect segue into my last tip. Practice like an absolute nut job. Throw your car around like a stick of butter in a hot pan. There's no real life repair bill anyway. Catch those slides, learn to drift that Formula 4 car, learn how to recover from a crash as quickly as possible. This all might sound ridiculous, but it will help you to understand the limits of your car better, make you more prepared for insane situations which only arise when you're racing actual real life people. And by having fun with it, you're actually learning more from it than if you'd force yourself to take it all too seriously. And that's everything we've got for you today. We hope you've learned something. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or tips of your own, and we hope to see you in the next video.